Hey y'all, it's Taryn. It is Sunday, June 14th. Welcome. I hope y'all have had a good couple of weeks. Here in my own little world, in the world of early, it's been a little bit crazy, but I'm getting to the place where that's to be expected, right? I don't like drama. We try to avoid drama, but somehow crap finds us. So there's that. I've been stitching, and that's been good. Actually took the whole weekend off from the office this past weekend. We went to work on Friday morning, but Abigail was had a layover in San Antonio for like, I don't know, 30 hours or something. Her base is out of Houston, so a 30-hour layover in San Antonio is kind of stupid, but who am I? Anyway, we went, Abigail, Wyatt, Dax and I went Friday. We went out to eat and then went and had some drinks on the Riverwalk in San Antonio. And then Kirsten spent the night in San Antonio with Abigail, and they did girl things. I don't know. So that was nice. But Dax was not feeling well when we got home. He wasn't feeling well yesterday. So I've kept him pumped full of cold medicine because he's complaining of a sore throat and stuff. And really, when I think back, he was complaining on Thursday how he just felt like he didn't have any energy. And so we did not go into the office yesterday. I didn't let him do anything today. He keeps telling me how he feels fine, but he keeps sleeping the day away. I know he's just exhausted. What I really think is the issue is that we are trying to, this time of the year, fleas are always an issue at our house with all of the animals that we have and all of the wild animals that hang out around our house. So he keeps spraying, but then he stays in the room, and I think that's the problem. I keep telling him, don't do that. Don't spray the room and then work out in it. You know, either spray it and come back later and work out, or work out and then spray it. But what do I know? So anyway, he spent the last couple of days in bed and doing a lot of sleeping, but he needs it. So obviously he needs it. So anyway, that's let me do things this weekend besides work. I've got bread in the bread machine right now. I only use my bread machine to make dough because I can't stand, it's not that big a deal. I don't like the square loaf of bread. So I take it out and put it in a loaf pan and cook it in the oven because that's what really matters, right? The shape of the bread. What else has been going on? Because I know that was really exciting stuff. We had to fire a client. She's never been particularly pleasant to deal with. And Dax sent her questions about her business, the same kinds of questions that he sends everyone else, and she lost her crap over it and got super snarky in her responses. And Dax wrote her back and said, I've obviously offended you by asking questions, but I will not put my name on a return that isn't done to the best of my ability as correct. And this ends our relationship. Your stuff is in the mail back to you. So then she was pissed because we didn't finish the return. But oh well. It happens. And it makes life better. It's a relief that we don't have to deal with her. So why do we deal with people like that in the first place? I don't know. Um, what else? Oh, let's talk about the elephant in the room. This, my hair. I colored my hair. Thank God I don't have that Bride of Frankenstein streak. It is much darker than I was going for. It's the same color I always use, but this is what happens when you get distracted and you leave it on your hair about twice as long as you usually do. It gets much darker. But the truth of the matter is, this is really close to my natural color. Um, but it hasn't been my natural color in so many years. I'm not used to it. So for me, it's like, whoa. Um, so, off the top of my head, that's the stuff I can think of. Um, yeah, Wyatt started his summer semester, the first one. Um, it's all online, and they take a test once a week. They have a company that proctors the test. He has to go in and, with his webcam on, he has to do a complete circle of the room. He's not allowed to have anything on the desk but his keyboard, not even a mouse pad, nothing. The webcam and the microphone have to stay on the entire time. And if and he goes to the office to do this, and he's there right now because he's doing it on Sunday, because if he does it on Monday and we forget and walk in, then he fails the test because somebody came in the room. It's craziness. But I guess then he doesn't have school on Monday because he's already taken the test. So there you go. Okay, stitching, because that is what we're really all here for. I've done some. I've worked on quite a few different things, obviously, because it's been 2 weeks. First thing, before I forget, because I always seem to, Wyatt's stocking. It's Dimensions Gold Kit. From 100 years ago. And as you can see, I obviously had no idea I was going to be recording this video because I didn't get anything ready. Here we are now. I finished up this cuff, and I don't know, can you even see? I started, this is a really dark burgundy color, but I've started on Santa's belly. I've looked at my list of my 20 things to finish in 2020, which is really only 18 things, because I finished 2 things in 2019 that were on the list. I'm not holding out a lot of hope here. I finished 4 of them, I think. There's parts of me that are telling myself, they're like, hey Taryn, you're gonna have to be happy with 4 because it's not looking good. But that's okay, because they'll still be here. Anyway, okay, so other things that I worked on. I did get 2 blocks done in my Mystic Stitch Solitude piece. I won't pull it out and show it to you because it really doesn't look that much different. It was, getting those 2 blocks done was really a bunch of ninja stitches where there was just that only one color in the whole area. So it took a while. You know how that is. But anyway, going into, I have it written down here somewhere, going into June, because my goal was to get 7 blocks a month done. Of the, most of them are the 10 by 10, but some of them are partial. Anyway, to get 7 done each month this year would get my goal of the 2 pages, which, seriously, it's 700 stitches. It shouldn't be that hard to accomplish, but I'm not managing to do it. Regardless, I came into June needing to to get caught back up to where I should be, 22 blocks. I've gotten 2 done. Yay. Maybe. We're halfway through the month. I'm sure I can knock out 20. Whatever. Anyway, this, I'll just show you real quick because all I have is my working copy. I found it stuck in some other things, and I can't find the book it came out of. It was a Stony Creek from 1987. So, we've moved, I've moved since 1987, probably 7 or 8 times. There is no telling. And like I said, this was stuck with some other things. But anyway, real quick, I don't even know if you can tell. It's a little witch and a moon and a cat. And even when I show you, I don't know that you can tell. I have been working, it's so hard to see all of this right here. You can kind of see the outline because basically I'm using off-white on off-white. The original pattern was done on black, so all that white would show up really great. But I only had like this little piece right here done, and I managed to, I put in that just to use a different, to show something, but I did manage to get all of this. I think I am down to where I can just fill in this without looking at the pattern. So that would be fantastic. I worked on Christmas Gentleman. This is on my list of 20 and 20, 18 and 20. And this time he doesn't look a whole lot different. But I came in and did backstitching up here. No, I haven't gotten to the top. I've only done a tiny bit. I've backstitched the S, and I've backstitched down here. I would really like to get to where, as I move down, that it's actually done. So, really all I worked on is backstitching. The next time I pick it up, I'll probably work on backstitching this Santa before I move on to the next one. It is also on my list. There are 2 more Santas to go in the Mary and a crap ton of backstitching, so this is why I'm not feeling all that hopeful. I worked on Little Bunny Big Head, and again on this one I'm doing the bunny and the bird. I'm not doing all of the other because this is actually a birth announcement, and God help me if I ever have to make a birth announcement again. I will be stitching from the psychiatric ward if I have to make a birth announcement again. I finished up this little red pocket, and you can't see the white in here, and did this little green. I don't know, maybe there's white that goes in here, I'm not sure, but I did that. This one, that puts me right in here, is where I am on this one. There really shouldn't be all that much, so there may be some hope that I can get this one done. It is also on my list. The majority of things that I do work on really are on my list, but I spin the little wheel for each day what my focus is going to be, and really I stitch on it for about an hour, and then I'm ready to move on to something else. During Mania, I stitched on them for an hour and a half or 2 hours, and of course I got a lot more progress, and I liked that, the progress, but then I also sit there thinking, but I could be working on this, or I could be working on this. So it doesn't really help me all that much. Today's drink of choice in here, and I want you to know I did not fill this up. It was only like this much. It is Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Whiskey over ice, because relax, that's why. It's actually a bottle we bought at the distillery. If you've never been to tour Jack Daniel's, We took our kids when they were like 13 or 14 because Parents of the Year. Um, it is a dry county in Tennessee. And so we bought a commemorative bottle, and the whiskey inside is free. But the bottle is etched. We had it etched with vacation stuff and everything. And we've let it sit there, and I'm like, we're going to keep the bottle. Why can't we drink the whiskey out of it? So, vacation whiskey. Anyway, I worked on this one. Again, another one that is on my list of 18 and 20. And I am moving right along, people. I feel good that it's actually starting to look like a porch swing. I filled in some of this in here and some of this. This over here, I filled in. This right here is confetti heavy. But this is one that if I'm working on it, I really should give it a couple of hours. But again, I like to kid myself and say, once I get the swing done, there isn't that much more stitching. Yeah, whatever. This is half stitches, but this isn't. Some of this is, some of it isn't. There's a lot more to do. I guess it just makes me feel better if I lie to myself. I don't know. I worked on this one. This was one I switched over to for Mania because the original piece that I had started and was working on, the pattern is so hard to read, I just couldn't anymore. After 2 years, I had about this much done. So I switched and started this one. I can read the pattern just fine. I am not loving it. And mostly because I'm doing it on fabric, but he's got a head. He's got a head now. I need to just get this one done. And like I said, it's because it's on fabric and the fabric moves, and I thought it was a good count, but every so often I have to skip a row to keep it from getting wampalooed. That's Dax's word. Okay. I worked on Brouhaha. This is a free pattern from Plum Street Samplers. In this, I have been working on, and I was doing it 1/1 on this. This has got to be smaller than 28 count, and the colors were too close. Here it is. It's hard to tell that his nose is in there, his mouth. The colors were too close. So as you can see, I lightened up the pumpkin anyway to give it more contrast. I just picked another color, I think that was in the pattern. But I started it over, so I just got a little bit more done. But it's moving in the right direction at least, right? One day last week, I don't think it was the week that just went by, I think it was before that, I was running to KFC to pick up some dinner to eat at the office because that's what I was hungry for. And because I like the bowls with the mashed potatoes and the chicken and the gravy and the corn and the cheese and everything all together. I think it's wonderful. But I was going to go pick up those, and they've got some road work going on, so I had to kind of go a back way. And the fire department is on the back way, so they have speed bumps, like before and after the fire department. I guess just to make you slow down so that in case they've got something going on. Anyway, there was a car in front of me that stopped for a skunk that was going across the road. And y'all, it's kind of a residential area. I mean, not kind of, it's a residential area. The skunk was crossing from somebody's backyard across the road into a vacant lot. But we waited for him to go by. And then the car in front of me was taking forever to go over the speed bump, and I was watching that skunk. And as he got into that vacant lot, he did not like that there were cars there. And so his little tail was going up in the air, and I was yelling at the car in front of me to hurry up and get over the speed bump because I didn't want to honk, because if you honk, he's sure to spray. And I don't know if you live where there are a lot of skunks. I do. And even if they're out there and they spray, if you have the air on in any capacity in your car, it gets in there and it doesn't go away for a day or two. It's awful. Fortunately, they got over the speed bump. I didn't have to push them over to get them out of the way, and we got away before he sprayed. Y'all, we were in town. It shouldn't be that way. Anyway, I worked on, out of this book, Cross Stitch Designs by Ellen Stouffer. It says on here it's from 1990. And I am working on this, and I'm not doing the whole thing. I'm doing from inside these trees, just the Liberty balloon and these things. And I started, as I've said before, working on the trees, and I didn't like it. I pulled out, here's where I started the tree. I've pulled out a little bit more. I'm trying to make myself pull that out as I go. But all I did this time is backstitch the little guy. Well, I finished backstitching the basket for the balloon and got him backstitched. So, here, some of that. My thread back here is making his hair look funky. So, anyway, I worked on that, and it was good. I feel good that I got him backstitched and all that stuff. And then I worked on my Brooks books. I am on the camel, number 6, Cashmere Camel. I think that's her name. And I finished it. Hooray! I didn't follow the directions completely. I did, instead of lazy daisies like on this present, those are loose French knots. If you don't pull the thread tight on your needle and hold it that way while you are making a French knot, you will come up with a little loose knot like that. And then I did turkey stitching down here. I need to go back and trim it all up because I wanted there to be some dimension to that. So, there you go. I know, I'm not even done. Can you believe it? Oh, I didn't even tell y'all that I made the dandelion jelly. It is not a quick process. You make a tea with the jelly and you have to let that sit 24 hours. And as it just so happened, mine sat for 48 because I planned to make it on Sunday, but I ran out of time. And so I had to make it on Monday morning. Yeah. It turned out. But I was trying to do everything the right way, because shouldn't you? And I had my canning jars in the oven. I washed them all, but I had them in the oven, keeping them disinfected and warm. I boiled the round sealing lids, and I was cooking the jelly, and I realized that the sealing lids I boiled were not the ones for the jars that I had. They were too big. So then I had to run and dig up more lids and boil them, and while the jelly's cooking and everything, it was a mess. It was a mess. And the jelly turned out, it gelled fine, and I don't really care for it. Really, it tastes like honey. It really does. It has some lemon juice in it, and I guess really not enough because I can't taste the lemon. I think I might like it better if I could. I can just get honey. I don't have to go through all that trouble to have something that tastes like honey. I don't know if I'll do it again. We'll have to see. But I made it, even though it was a mess on Monday morning before I'm trying to get to the office to make it. But I did it. So, good times, right? Uh-oh. Oh, I was like, uh-oh, I lost one. I worked on my kids' 2019 Christmas ornaments. Because, yes, 2019. This is on my list of 20 to get accomplished last year. Anyway, this time, I don't know what I did. Maybe I put in the purple shirt. I don't remember. I don't remember if I had all this done. I know that I was working on, maybe I just finished up this. I'm not sure, but I worked on it. It's coming along. It'll get there eventually. Eventually, maybe by 2030 or something. I don't know. Gonna have to get caught up at some point. Here's your stuff from when you were 3. That's what it's gonna be like. I worked on, out of this, Precious Moments, So Much to Love. And it's SEW, So Much to Love. I am doing this one for our 25th anniversary this year in September. It says, many moons in the same canoe, bless 'em you, happy anniversary. I'm only going to put many moons in the same canoe. He'll understand it's about us. I had hoped this time, I have it because I don't have to have it done by September. I have things like, okay, each time I work on it, I need to accomplish this much. And I had hoped to accomplish, like this part down here where their legs are and stuff like that this week. And I don't think I've shown, but I don't know. I got way more done than I expected. And that thrills me to no end because it happens so seldomly. But look at this, y'all. Look at that. I don't know if I showed y'all last time where I had gotten backstitching done down here. So this part's done. I still have to backstitch the canoe and everything. And she has a feather in her hair that I'll still have to do. But as I was going along, of course there's tons of backstitching. It was just going so quickly. I mean, this right here is all I thought, okay, that's all I need to get done. And the next time I work on it, I can try to get this much done or whatever. But I really feel like I can finish by September. I mean, I have until the end of September. Our anniversary's on the 30th, but I'm just, like I said, thrilled to death with how much, and I'm just loving it. I think it is so stinking cute. And my needle minder is a TV because he's the reason that those are my initials. So there you go. Okay, my news starts because, yeah, I'm at 98 whips at the moment. And with new starts every week and not really seeing a lot of finishes on the near horizon, I think I'm going to get past 100 here soon. I was looking at stuff because I'm I'm probably 6 weeks out on things that I already have kitted, so I'm trying to work on getting things that are in my basket of ones I want to do that are waiting for me to kit them. And I think I have enough to start one every week next year too. I'm looking at my basket. I may be able to go into the year after that. Especially because this week I have purchases. But we'll get to this. Okay. My new start from 2 weeks ago was this one. Hogwarts in the Bank. It's off of Etsy. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. We are not going to be calling it Hogwarts in the Bank because I had no idea that this was a Harry Potter thing. I'm not a Harry Potter girl. I know. I'm sorry. I know that probably was painful for some of you. It's not my intention. I'm just not. So, at my house, Polar Express. So, because really that's what I thought it was when I bought it. So there you go. Here's what I've gotten done, which is basically the cork at the top. And it's not even the whole thing. It is only part of it because I started the first page, which is like almost in the middle. It's a couple rows over from being in the middle. And I just figured I will do this by page instead of trying to like get all of this done and look at the other page and everything. So that's where I started. This Ada, honestly, I don't even know where it came from. It's dyed with gray. I thought it would be perfect. And so far I'm liking it. I was enjoying stitching on that. Actually, I've really enjoyed stitching on most everything. My enjoyment with stitching on Wyatt's stocking comes and goes. And I noticed when I was working on it yesterday, maybe, that it comes and go based on how much confetti there is in it. And then my new start from this week is from Crab Shack Stitchery, is that it? Yes, on Etsy. It's this Thanksgiving Subway poster. Thanksgiving Subway poster. But how cute is that? Right? And y'all are going to be impressed. Bam. I know, right? I was looking at this when I was getting ready to start it, deciding, oh, how am I going to put it on the fabric and blah, blah, blah. And this is fabric that I coffee dyed and baked it. And it's just coffee. I usually don't never put in tea. It's just, I use the instant coffee. But I don't usually bake it. But the baking makes the dark parts darker. And this has been washed after I did all of that. Like, it doesn't smell like coffee. It's been washed, so that stuff's staying. But anyway, I was trying to think, oh, do I start it like this? Yeah, thank goodness I read the directions, because this is cut to size. Yikes. It has to go this way. So I started in the middle, pretty close to the middle. I think the S, part of the S is on this page too, but yeah. Whew. But I can tell you, I just want to get to every one of the different motifs. I just want to get to all the different stuff. So this is one that as it comes up will actually be hard for me to put down while I'm working on it. But there's my start. A little turkey needle minder because, of course, it's Thanksgiving. I think that's everything I stitched on. Yes, I think so. I did keep up. Oh, before I go there, Lady Robin's. I always want to say Lady Robin S because the S is capital in her name, but she says Lady Robin's, and it's her channel. I'll let her decide how to pronounce it. I mean, okay. She had a video out a little bit ago, but she was saying that if you're wearing a t-shirt that says something on it and it shows in your video, that you should let people know what the shirt says. So mine says, here, I'll stand up, Mom to the fourth power. The mom's kind of hard to read, I think. Well, especially when it's backwards, but Mom to the fourth power. It's one Addison gave to me for maybe Mother's Day, maybe my birthday a couple of years ago. So there you go. This is in the Silver Lining Sew Along. This is the week 4 block. I think that's right. I think it's week 4. Yep. So here are all my blocks. We've got this one, this one, and now this one. And I'm doing mine completely from what I have. I have not done week 5's block yet because I'm really having trouble with trying to figure out the colors. A lot of these especially came from a charm pack of fabric that I had, which was not a problem because I could cut up. This is only from one fabric color. Some of it came, like this one is all strips that I had from, I bought at Goodwill, I think it was at Goodwill, a Ziploc bag full of fabric. You can even tell it was so crammed full. But when I got it home, it was all like jelly roll strips. And so this is from that. And when I say a lot, that's how many strips that are like jelly roll strip size. So all of these came out of that. I think like this one, I think maybe this green was from the jelly roll, and then these and this were from the charm pack. This jelly roll, charm pack, and then some other fabric. And the reason that I haven't figured out block 5 is because my charm pack is 1 square of each color, each pattern, colorway, whatever. And I need like 2 of each color to get this block done. So I have to pick different fabric. So I don't know. I'm struggling with it at the moment. I thought I knew what I was going to do, but when I pulled those fabrics out, they were far more bold than I wanted them to be. So I don't know. I pulled some other fabrics and I don't like it with the other ones. This is what I struggle with quilting, period, is the colors. So anyway, I am starting to get behind. I'm going to have to figure something out and just do it. I have a couple of purchases. Before my purchases, I was at $51.64 positive. I bought some floss. And I think this one I had already, this one I had already taken off for. And because I actually ordered it in May. So it's accounted for in May. Jacko from the sunflower seed. It's pretty cute. That was a cross stitch, one of the stash groups for cross stitch. And then this one, I just bought this week. Somebody had shown it at some point. They were in search of it, and I saw it and I was like, ooh, I need that too. Now, I wasn't competing with them to find this because they were overseas, and I've been not really actively looking for it. Every now and then on eBay, when I would think about it, I would look for it. But not even so much that I actually set it up as a search to notify me, just whenever I would think about it. And I found it one time, and while I was thinking about whether or not I wanted to pay what they were asking for, which was not out of line, it was just me being stupid. Somebody else bought it because they were smarter than me. Because I've seen it for $70 or $80 for this kit, but it's Design Works, Native American fashion, and they have them in different. I think there's one that has like kimonos, but I love it. I mean, my gosh, how awesome is that? And this is a full kit. I think it only comes as a kit. But I saw it, and I don't know if the lady had just listed it or not. But I saw it, and I think it was listed for around $30, and I made an offer of $25. Before I even got off of eBay, she accepted the offer. And that was like on Monday or Tuesday, and it came in the mail yesterday. She put it in the mail right away, and y'all have no idea. For me to spend $25 on one thing is nuts. But, and I know that I feel like I'm the only one. I do. I know that y'all spend, between the fancy floss and the hand-dyed fabrics and all of that y'all spend a lot of money on stuff. Some of y'all do what I would consider a lot of money because I'm cheap. I'm trying to come to terms with that. It comes from growing up as a poor kid, I'm sure. Anyway, I am freaking thrilled to have this. And because it's already kitted up and done, it gets to go into the box of kitted things that, like I said before, I'm about 6 weeks out. So it gets to go, it gets to cut in line because it's already a kit. I think that is everything. I am still working on cleaning my desk off. This week's cleaning off of the desk is something that I started, and it's just been sitting here, and so I'm not going to show you yet because it is almost finished. So maybe next time it will be finished, and I'll show you then. What else? I think that's all, y'all. I think I don't have anything else. I'm hoping for a non-stressful week at the office. It's my preference. I've been cleaning out things there also. I mean, I have a clean spot on my desk at the office too. It's amazing. Even Kirsten noticed it when she came in. She was like, oh look, there's a clean spot there. Yes, there is. I'm trying to think of anything else. can't think of anything. Like I said, hoping for